Francisco, welcome to Atlantic Conference. This is our second annual conference, and we're honored to have you. But before we get started, why don't you give the audience a little 30 seconds on your background?
Very fast, actually. I have a degree in international relations, master's in African studies. I didn't finish my PhD in international law because politics never let me finish my PhD. I've been working in international politics or local politics since I started to work. And since 2017, I've been deputy mayor of municipality of Oeiras in Portugal. And I'm the host of your data center in Portugal.
I love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've had a great relationship over the last 2 years. I really want to thank you. Oeiras Valley is the Silicon Valley of Lisbon. Who had this vision, and how did it come about?
Well, the vision belonged initially to the mayor of Oeiras, Mayor Isaltino. When he arrived in the municipality back in the 80s, Oeiras was a depressed suburb of Lisbon with about 10% of its population living in slums.
Wow.
Most people today forget that. With a local economy based on industry, small industry, a lot of pollution, and non-competitive agriculture. Back then, he had 2 or 3 challenges that he was obligated to fulfill. The first one was to take that 10% of the population out of the slums. Because, as you know, you are the CEO of a major IT company, because AtlasEdge is an IT company.
Yes.
No IT company can establish itself near a slum.
Yes.
There's no possibility that you can find, especially nowadays, IT engineers to go to work there, because the guys are coming from all over the world. If they don't have a good social environment, if they don't have a competitive environment, they won't come. So he needed to take away people from slums. He needed to order the territory. And then he had the idea of attracting IT companies and high-profile companies to the territory of Oeiras. Why? Because Lisbon back then was very underthought in sort of strategic policies for the future. He understood that the future was connected to IT companies, to universities, to research centers. So we created the opportunity to bring those companies and that centers to Oeiras. How? First of all, establishing what is called now the Tagus Park. The Tagus Park is the largest, or the first and the largest technological park in Portugal. That was the first one in Oeiras, and after Tagus Park, other came, and now naturally you guys are coming.
Yes.
So what we do right now in the municipality is creating the environment and creating the ecosystem for you guys to come. And nowadays, Oeiras, if Oeiras 40 years ago was representative of 10% of people in slums, that's misery. That's misery. Nowadays, we don't have slums. We don't have slums since the beginning of the 21st century. And right now, we represent about 10% of the Portuguese GDP in 46 square kilometers and 30% of the technological capacity in Portugal. We were discussing 5 minutes ago how the local government is focused on attracting these companies, because we know that when we attract companies, when we create jobs, we create richness and well-being. After that, we can all make the distribution of the wealth for our population. Because if nowadays we are the municipality in the country with the highest per capita paycheck, we are also the first one in social justice. And this is the end of our politics, to create social justice for everyone.
That's a great vision.
You cannot let me speak too much. You know? Politicians in microphones, we are dangerous.
But that was a lot of good information. But you mentioned something that I want to double click on a little bit. You mentioned the transformation from slums to technology. Tell me the importance of university and education in Oeiras to that transformation.
No, in this world, there is only one social elevator. It's called education.
Yes.
We are, for instance, we are now creating what we call the universal access to university. It's a policy that only occurs in Oeiras, I believe, in Portugal, because every student that ends high school in our municipality, if their family does not have the economic conditions for those students to go to university, the municipality will pay for everything. We'll pay for the tuition, we'll give a per diem, everything. They can also fail one time, but everyone goes to university if they have the conditions to go to. For you to understand the numbers, when we arrived in the municipality in 2017, we had 34 scholarships
34.
that year, 34. In this year, we have 2,500 applications. We have grown
10x.
from
Wow.
34
100x.
for more than 2,000
Wow.
applications
Wow.
per year. This is very important for us. Of course, most of people think that we are only creating social justice.
Right.
It's not only that.
Right.
When we put a kid in college, with a kid that his family doesn't have the possibility to send him to college, we are creating the opportunity for that kid, but not only for that kid, because he's talented. Once unleashed,
Right.
can make him grow, but will go back on the community.
Yes.
So we are earning much more than we are giving. It's good for everyone. We are respecting the freedom of opportunity for everyone, and we are keeping our bicycle
Spinning.
spinning.
Moving forward.
The bicycle is always spinning and moving forward. So in about 5 or 10 years, we will be in a much better place than we are right now.
So we've got 2,500 scholarships. That education is the best way to help create wealth. Wealth is economic investment. Tell me a little bit about how you're seeing investment into Oeiras County municipality over the past, because clearly people are noticing this. We noticed it. We've got two great banks with a $253 million commitment to your municipality. How do you see that investment continuing to grow?
To start, for us, companies are the key element of the wealth creation. So we respect the entrepreneurs, we respect the companies, and we create the stage for them to come. This transformation from being a depressed suburb to becoming a pivotal centrality in the Lisbon region and in Portugal, in Portugal for it all. For this to happen, we needed to have the companies. You know that, allow me to say this, Lisbon has a unicorn factory. The mayor of Lisbon has announced that he has a unicorn factory. That's all very funny, but we have the unicorns. Portugal has 7 unicorns, 4 of them came from Oeiras. And they came exactly because we are protecting entrepreneurs, we're protecting the investment. As you know, we are a municipality that has open doors for you guys.
Yes.
You have no problem reaching the mayor or the vice mayor or the mayor's office or the vice mayor's office. We have regular meetings with our head of urban planning and urban licensing, as you know. We have had several meetings in order to have your investment materialized in the territory. When we spoke in the inauguration of the data center, of the first phase of the data center, you said that 2 years ago, this place was a pile of dirt. 30 years ago, in that place, there was a slum. That's only one or 1.5 generation.
1.5.
That's pretty fast.
That's very good.
That's pretty fast.
Yep.
But we consider not to be just our work, but ours and yours. We create the opportunity, but if you don't come, the opportunity will not be a reality.
So that's a great segue into my next question. You talked about the pile of dirt, and in one generation we made it a technology center. What do you think you and the mayor are doing that are making it so special? Because I've built data centers on 5 continents. This was the municipality that worked the hardest and had the most open door policy I've seen across 5 continents.
That's very good to hear.
What do you think is the secret?
Probably the secret is, and I may sound a little bit ridiculous saying this, but the mayor infected us all with this disease. He's a guy who wants to change the world.
Okay.
Not change the world as a whole, but change the world piece by piece. Please remember that this is a man that when he came to office, he had 10% of people living in slums and had no money in the bank in the municipality. So he changed. Barack Obama used to say that the business in politics, we are in the business of changing lives.
Right.
If someone is in politics and he doesn't understand that it is his duty to change their lives, because no one else will come. That's one lesson that I've heard from my mayor since my first day in office. There's no one else.
Right.
Just you and me. The buck stops here. So when people come, we have to change their problems. We have to change the problems, the emergency problems in social support of the municipality. But in the long term, we have to create the conditions for that emergency problems, that emergency social problems cannot occur as much. And the only way to do so is to create wealth. I was saying that we are the best in per capita income, the best in social justice, but we are also the best in adapting to climate change. We are doing what we call in Portugal a quadratura do círculo, the square on the circle.
Right.
We are trying to do everything, and we have the comprehension that we need you guys, that you are important for our social development, you are important for our social stability, and you are important for our good results.
Yeah.
And in order for us to make the redistribution of wealth, we have to create wealth. Otherwise, there will be no social justice, no social cohesion, in our model will not occur.
You know, a lot of the challenges and obstacles around building anything, data centers included, are pushed to say, oh, what are the municipalities doing? Are they being bureaucratic? Are they being slow and challenging? I'm here to tell you that your office and your municipality has been absolutely business friendly and absolutely helpful in doing that. And it's often a scapegoat and an excuse. But this is an area that you guys been. You mentioned another word, and it's very important, and it's on the upper right-hand corner there. It says sustainability and quality of life. You mentioned climate change. The Iberia Peninsula and Portugal are very strong in renewable energy. Mm-hmm. Tell me some of your views on renewable energy. Tell me how we can continue to make that area grow and continue to help our technology.
We are, as a country, we've became very strong since 2008 when the government changed the legislation and to change the balance of power production, energy production in Portugal, giving special importance or special relevance to renewable energy. The municipality, the only role that we have in renewable energy is to create special areas in order to promote the investment in solar panels, for instance,
yes,
or in other kind of renewable energy production as wind. But we don't have that kind of conditions in Oeiras for wind. Right. But we are doing, since some years ago, all that we can to install solar panels in our public buildings, yep, to give conditions to our citizens to create their own small communities to produce electricity. And we are always in contact with AtlasEdge, the most difficult company in Portugal to deal with, as you probably guys know. The guys that work in Portugal knows this. They are as difficult for you as they are for us. But we are always in contact with them in order for them to support us in creating the distribution of power
Right.
to attract companies.
Right.
I know that everyone, particularly in this business, has problems with power production
Yep.
and power distribution.
Right.
And since we spoke about that problem,
Right.
it took us 48 hours to speak with the board of AtlasEdge and for them to speak afterwards with the government. That's what we do. We are a facilitator in this area for you.
Thank you. Power was a big topic in Portugal and Lisbon a few months ago. There was a blackout. How were you impacted by that, and what have you done since then?
Well, we were impacted as most of the country was, but we were prepared because we had actually a few years ago when I arrived to the municipality, I've discovered that we didn't have the generator to support our data center.
Yeah.
So there was a blackout a few years ago, not in the country, but in my municipality,
Yeah.
and we had problems with our data security.
Okay.
So back then we bought the generator for our services
Right.
and for social protection, for civil protection
Right.
area.
Right.
So we were prepared for that. We were prepared for protecting our data, protecting our emergency services. We had our network for communication
Yeah.
in our services. We were prepared before the blackout.
Yeah.
But I don't know how the country is preparing right now,
Yeah.
because we are slow learners in that area in Portugal. But for our municipality, for what I can speak is that we are prepared
Okay.
to continue to work and to continue to protect our citizens in that conditions.
Great. You're about to start a new campaign?
No, it's ended now. It's ended now.
Ended now?
Yeah,
We're
ended
done?
now. We're done. We had the result that we wanted.
Okay.
We are starting tomorrow a new 4-year term
Okay.
and expecting to continue to do what we do, to serve.
As you think about the next 4 years, the last 4 years have been so great. Like you said, in a short amount of time, you took us, in one generation, you took a slum to a technology center. You have ambitious plans. What do the next 4 years hold for you?
Well, in these 4 years, the largest investment that we had was this one.
Okay.
First phase, done. We're having a new science and housing park from the largest construction company in the world, China State, China State, with a consortium with Portuguese company Teixeira Duarte.
Okay.
It's a $350 million investment. We will have a few hotels that are appearing. We will build 2 new enormous green parks in Oeiras, more than 30 hectares in this next 4 years. We will have a convention center and a new
Maybe a future
theater.
home for Atlantic Convergence.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. It will be very good if we can.
We can bring everyone
29.
there. Yeah.
If you can have it in 29, that will be very important for us.
Sure.
Because one of the things that we'll still lack, to have as much as we wanted, is to attract tourists to Oeiras.
Okay.
Because most of our historical buildings were still under government control until 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
They are under our control now.
Okay.
We are making works to allow people to visit, and then we can have the Atlantic Converge there, and to bring them all to Oeiras, to sleep in Oeiras Hotel, to visit our monuments, and to know our life quality as it is.
Great. You've been a pro-business, you're pro-social justice, your track record speaks for itself. Are there any questions from the audience for our Vice President? No? All right, well then let us continue. I want to go back to education for a second. I think I read a stat that said over 50% of the degrees are now STEM degrees. Is there anything Oeiras is doing to help STEM and science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and try to help the children, the kids, get scholarships in specifically in STEM?
I'm trying not to brag.
Okay.
But we are the first municipality in the country to have 1% of our budget dedicated to science and technology
Okay.
research. We give scholarships to science, to research,
Yep.
to Portuguese investigators.
Yep.
We are promoting. We promoted the first science festival in the country, the first municipal science festival in the country.
Really? I did not
We
know
have
that.
we have a thing called my first lab. It's a lab in a box for
Okay.
kids
Yes.
in school. So we are doing everything we can in that area.
I think that's so important because as we continue to grow, having good talent in the area is what makes Lisbon attractive and makes this area attractive. So we want to thank you for that. There are no other questions. I want to thank you once again.
Thank you,
You've been
Tesh.
a
It
great
was a
partner.
pleasure.
Always a
Thank
great
you.
partner in what we've done. I can't wait to build Lisbon 2 and Lisbon 3 here.
Keep them coming.
All right. Thank you, everyone.